Creases. This is Timothy S. Flanders, Meaning of Catholic. Wanted to say hello from quarantine. Our state just locked us down. We're in Michigan, and we are working as a family. We are making the best of this situation. We are doing morning offering in the morning. We're making our plans for the day. We're working together. Praise God, we're really bonding, Flanders family. I was trying to organize some rosary walks with the neighborhood, but that fell through after the governor set up that everybody has to social distance. She's banned all public gatherings whatsoever. So we might sneak that in, depending on how much that's enforced. But thankfully, we did stock up this past weekend, so we can sit around in our house as long as we get enough fresh air. We took some of the men in the neighborhood. We got together this past weekend just to organize a bit, organize our, make sure we're together as a neighborhood so that we can face this. Things go south. We've got one pregnant wife, two infants, including my infant daughter. So if we have any shortages or anything like that, we can help each other out. So I wanted to let everybody know what Meaning of Catholic is going to do during this crisis. What we're going to do is we're going to continue all the programming we have been doing, God willing. Right now, I'm on paternity leave from my office, which I work normally just a 9 to 5, in addition to these side jobs like this apostolate. So I don't actually go back until April 29 to my normal 9 to 5, and that would be a work at home indefinitely from what it looks like anyways. But we're going to continue doing the normal programming. We want to address the crisis and the plague and everything, but we also continue looking at the faith and everything that's going on. So, you know, everybody's getting bombarded with the plague. I know had some comments on the video last week on liberalism, that people were just happy to have something that was just a break from all the nonstop coronavirus. So we're going to continue providing our normal programming. We're going to continue, especially just analyzing politics, because one of the things we need to really look closely and watch very closely about is that no matter how much this crisis, how bad it really is, because first of all, it's very difficult to get into the reality of the situation because media is the enemy of the people. They don't care about the people, they care about profits and emotional provocations. That's all they do. And so it's difficult to get at what exactly is going on, what exactly is the extent of the virus, what exactly it is. So, I mean, there's contrary opinions in terms of the extent, the solutions necessary and all this. But even if it's as bad as they say, we know for a fact that the elites and the oligarchs and the government officials and the globalists and the child murdering enemies of the people, the communists or Marxists, feminists, whatever, they're going to use this for their advantage. Right now, Pelosi is already trying to ram through funding for all these leftist ideologies into the bill that is designed to try to give relief to the poor and the, kind of blue collar, lower class kind of, people who are in desperate need because their employers are shutting them out and they can't actually, they can't have a restaurant, but the restaurant owner can't pay them. They can't pay them while they're off work because the restaurant owner can't afford it himself. So obviously the bill is designed to give some relief to these people, but Pelosi's already trying to push through all these agenda, this leftist ideology in the funding already. So we already see this. Now, we need to think back. Michael Matt did a great video. Take a look at that Remnant video. Always great stuff from Michael Matt. Just remembering the Iraq War, 2003, and the propaganda that built up to that. In 2011, or 2001, 9/11, when the terrorist attacks happened, we know now that Donald Rumsfeld literally had a meeting the same day. It was a couple hours after the planes hit the towers. Donald Rumsfeld called a meeting and literally said, "Is this enough to hit Saddam Hussein?" That's how these elites care much about the people. That's how much they care about the people. That's how much they care about all the, all people who are struggling, whatever. They don't care about you. They don't care about me. They care about their agenda and their money and their power and everything. So the I think it was Emmanuel Rame, not getting that name right, but he was the one who said, "Never let a good crisis go to waste." So we need to be very sober and not naive about the fact that whatever the extent of this crisis is, the elites will use it. They will use it, absolutely. I mean, it would be some kind of divine miracle if they didn't. They want to use this to push through their agenda. So we didn't trust them before because they're child murdering communists, whatever, Marxists. We didn't trust them before. We shouldn't trust them now. We need to look at our governments and these leftists in power, and we need to look at them with a very suspicious eye. Be cautious. The virtue of caution is to see and foresee future evil. That's what the virtue of caution is, and we need to have that at this time. Protect your families, provide for them. Fathers, you need to be the rock. So what we're doing tonight, I'm going to record a show with Kennedy talking about men being the rock in this crisis, what we need to do, some basic, very practical things, and address those things. And then we're also just going to continue our programming that's just stuff about the faith that is not related per se to this crisis. So we can just continue to have a break from the nonstop talk about coronavirus and continue to work out our spiritual lives. And I will be doing daily videos that will be working on just working on the spiritual life, spiritual aspects of this, so we can continue daily to grow in holiness and offer up our sacrifices. We need to understand that plagues are sent by the wrath of God, and we need to accept this as the wrath of God because we deserve it, and we need to offer up all of our sufferings on behalf of all the conversion of poor sinners. We need to offer up our sufferings for those communists, leftists, whatever, that they'll be converted, that they may not inherit eternal damnation, that they may be converted and be saved. That's what a good Catholic does. We accept the suffering, we offer it up for our brother who is in need, spiritually or otherwise. So get with your neighbors, find out if they have any needs, look out for those who are elderly among your neighbors, find out who's, if you haven't already, find out who they are, find out what their needs are. We got a next door neighbor who's elderly couple, just making sure that they have their needs met. If they're stuck inside, they can't go anywhere, they're not very mobile, making sure that they have their resources. So that's what we do in this crisis. Men of God, it's time for you to arise, be the rock, take your leadership because that's your duty. You will be judged by God on the day of judgment for what you do right now as men. You need to stand up, be the rock, and protect and provide for your families in this time. So my question for you is, what do you need right now? Because as I said, I'm trying to respond to some of the needs, try to continue some of the stuff without overloading everybody with coronavirus content. But what do you need right now? What would be helpful to you, spiritually or otherwise, with Meaning of Catholic, that we can do for you at this time? Because everybody's got YouTube in their home, so we can still broadcast. You can still get the content. What can we do for you in this time to support you? I was thinking about reading some lives of the saints who dealt with plague, things like that, to inspire us and continue to help us move forward through this. Different things like that. Just give me any of your ideas, anything that we can do for you, we want to do for you. That's what our job is. That's what our apostle is here for, is uniting Catholics against the enemies of the Holy Church. And so we need to see the enemies and what they're doing, they're gathering, and we need to unite. And we're here for you. So just let us know what we can do, and we'll do our best to provide that as much as we can. So God bless everybody. Fight the good fight. Stay strong. Spring is coming. Easter is coming. The resurrection will still come at the scheduled time. So let me know what you need, and we'll continue to provide that as much as we can. God bless.